we are covering a critical distinction for the Arizona Notary Public Exam: the difference between electronic notarization and remote online notarization, often called RON. The exam will test your ability to differentiate these two acts based on specific details in a scenario, and confusing them is a common failure point. Let's start with electronic notarization, sometimes called e-notarization. The absolute key to remember here is that the signer must be physically present before the notary. This is an in-person transaction. The only thing electronic is the document itself and the method of signing. Imagine a real estate closing at a title agency. The buyer and notary are sitting at the same conference table, but instead of a stack of paper, there is a large tablet. The buyer signs the documents on the tablet with a stylus, and the notary then affixes their electronic signature and electronic seal to the same digital document. This is an electronic notarization because physical presence was maintained, as required by traditional notary law. Now let's contrast this with remote online notarization, or RON. The defining characteristic of RON is that the signer is not in the physical presence of the notary. Instead, they are in a different location, interacting with the notary using specific, approved audiovisual technology. Under Arizona law, found in ARS Title 41, the notary must be physically located within Arizona at the time of the RON Act, but the signer can be anywhere in the world. For a RON transaction, the notary must verify the signer's identity through more rigorous, technology-based methods. This often involves credential analysis. Your software scans the signer's government-issued ID, and identity proofing, which might include knowledge-based authentication questions. The entire audiovisual session must be recorded and retained by the notary for at least 5 years. An exam question might describe a scenario where a person in Flagstaff needs to sign a document for a notary located in Phoenix using a webcam. This is clearly a RON. A major exam trap is the use of the word electronic. Test takers see electronic signature or electronic document and immediately select RON as the answer. You must look for the detail about the signer's location. If the signer is physically present, it is an in-person electronic notarization. If the signer is communicating through audiovisual technology from another location, it is a RON. Another critical point for the exam is that these are separate authorizations. To perform any type of notarization in Arizona, you must first have a traditional notary public commission. To perform RON, you must then apply for a separate authorization from the Secretary of State and contract with an approved technology vendor. You are not automatically permitted to perform RONs just because you are a commissioned notary. Here is a simple phrase to lock this in. RON is remote. If they're not in the room, it's RON. This mental shortcut forces you to check the signer's location first, which is the legally defining factor that separates these two types of notarizations and the key to correctly answering scenario-based questions on your Arizona notary exam. For free practice questions, AI-powered explanations, and more exam prep tools, visit openexamprep.com. That's openexamprep, all one word, .com.